Good evening. I'm Reginald Kurt Douglason, and tonight we have a gripping tale of horror and haberdashery. Welcome to Eerie and Somewhat Interesting Tales. Tonight's story is entitled The Caretaker. Here we are. Our story takes place at Winter Island in Salem, Massachusetts. In 2005, the Franklin Park Zoo of Boston donated a well-trained gorilla to the town of Salem. The gorilla was placed in a round stone enclosure where visitors could enter and visit with the primate. The gorilla's name was Chongo. And for years, people enjoyed this great and fun gorilla attraction. Yet, sometime in 2010, Chongo started to develop a mental disorder. Instead of being his charming and entertaining self, he started to scare people. And he developed bad behaviors. One day, Chongo was approached by a young damsel, and he got wildly out of control and attempted to have, hardcore sex with her. It was at this moment that the gorilla's caretaker decided enough was enough. The caretaker raised his gun and with one shot killed poor Chongo. What the caretaker did not realize was that this circular enclosure used to be home to practicing witches and was now cursed ground. This is why Chongo originally developed his mental illness. Cursed spirits were whispering in his ears over the years and drove him into utter insanity. Though his physical body was deceased, Chongo's spirit was more than alive. Alive and angry. Angry at the man. The man who killed him. As the caretaker went home that day, he was not alone. Chongo's spirit had followed him home. And when he slept that night, he tossed and turned as he could feel an evil primate presence above him. The next day, he was getting gas, and Chongo was there. After work, he tossed back a few pints. As soon as he had finished each pint, he swore Chongo was there. Confused and intoxicated, the caretaker attempted to make his way back home. The only problem was he could feel Chongo behind him. He could feel Chongo in front of him. He could feel Chongo inside of him. He could see Chongo everywhere. The caretaker ran into the graveyard nearby where he had buried Chongo and knelt in front of his tombstone. "You bastard! You bastard!" the caretaker cried. "Take me! Take me, why don't you? Take me to your gorilla hell!" And you know what, children? The ghost of Chongo did just that. And nevermore was the caretaker seen or heard from ever again. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight, children. I'm your host, Reginald Kurt Douglason. Join me next week as we explore the innards of the fascinating book, 50 Shades of Grey. Well, good night.